In other words, bring some posts that you think that exactly should vote on, and we can do that as well. And just here to support the Rambo as well. Not here to hijack, not to compete, not to do anything like that. I see too many of these Discord servers competing with Steamians, and it makes no sense to me. All work together. You know, what I mean, we want to make Steam $10, $20, $100 a piece, guys. You got to work together. You can't be saying, "Oh, I got my community, and I'm going to compete against your community." It's like, what are you doing?
Most people are
What?
pretty good.
Well, I'm not saying any of you guys here. I'm not saying that. Sheesh, you guys are all like to work together and help each other. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about the people who are not here, the ones that don't know how to help each other. Anyway, the ones that
This
like
is true.
to, the ones that like to take an idea and call it their own.
Ah, well, yeah. Always get a few of those.
A few,
Okay.
a few. All right, okay, you got the floor. You got the floor.
Good evening, everyone. This is Shadows Pub and Pimp Your Post Thursday evening edition from the Ramble. Did you say that last week, done stuff, and it's just catching up now? Oh, you stole my idea. Okay. So Axeman's going to lead us off tonight. Oh, Hobo got the picture and went and laid down somewhere else.
Obo says you're no fun.
Pretty much.
For you patting me, but that was not happening, so I'm out of here.
Okay, I'm still continuing to post daily the visual story from the theatrical performance started last week. So here's part number 9 already, and one more last, I hope to come tomorrow. 9, 10 parts on one theatrical performance. You were really into it, weren't you? Of course, she took a whole mess of pictures, she said. Yeah, I'm assuming it was awesome. Was it awesome, Axeman? Total 1/8 of the very total. Yeah, you said that you'd taken something like 700 pictures or something? Nice work. So now that you've got this one all in the books, what's your next one you're going to be watching? You have some more already done, shots you mean. So what's the next theatrical performance you're going to be going to see? So you've got another series to do, another local one. Nice. Magic Mike. All right. Thank you, Axeman. And Kitty Girl, you're up.
I'm sharing this post more for the information than I am for the upvotes. We have a musician in the Steam Terminal, Jose Cabrera, is a performing musician in Venezuela. He lives in Caracas, the capital city, and he has a concert in the Steam Terminal every other week, and then in the other weeks he's doing it in Inner Blocks Discord. So Inner Blocks one week, Steam Terminal the next, then Inner Blocks, then Steam Terminal, and tomorrow he will be back in the Steam Terminal and will be joined by another musician, Spartaco Valdez, who has just gotten his account on the Steam blockchain, but hasn't actually started posting yet. So I didn't put his link in the post, but all the details are in there, showing the different time zones. And we would love to have everyone join us. And when you join the Steam terminal, we usually ask you to put a few words about yourself, tell us what your Steam account is, and how long you've been on the blockchain, blah, blah, blah. And if you want to stay in the Steam terminal, that's fine. But if you just want to join the terminal quickly, listen to the concert, and then leave, let us know, and we won't make you do all that. So, yeah, come and join us. The concerts are always very laid back and chill, and usually last an hour to an hour and a half or so. I think one did go on for 2 hours, but you can always just pop in when you can and leave when you need to. No big deal. But please do think about joining us for this wonderful
Nice. And we got our kitty girl and her voice back.
Yeah, it keeps going. I noticed at the other PYPT earlier today, my voice kept dropping. I don't know if you could hear it or not. I had to stop and take a swig, but it's kind of sort of there.
Well, it's further along than it's been for a while, so it's good to hear. Thank you, kitty girl. And Sarge, you're up. Hives? What hives?
He's talking about the communities, the yeah, the new communities in the beta steamit.com.
Yeah, so they're communities. You call them hives and communicate people or confuse people.
You gonna have one? Shadows have a Pimp Your Post Thursday or a Rambo Radio High. There are only 3 Steam. Is that one?
I'm considering possibility of one or two communities.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I mean, Andrarchy was talking about it yesterday there in Philly. Um, about how easy they're to set up and everything. And then he mentioned Discord. He said, you got to go out of Steam, go to Discord. This will be, the hives. And then you have, but it's not going to be the same because you don't have like the text and chat and all that.
Yeah, I don't think that they're going to be able to replace Discord using communities.
No, not unless they like do some major interface work, and Steam has always been pretty lacking in that area. But
Well,
anyway,
the first thing they'd have to do right off the bat is put voice chat in.
oh yeah, voice chat and text chat, and they'd have to do some serious front end work there. But anyway, this is a post from the Steam terminal, and it's called December Daily Send a Wreath. And for those who are not familiar with Steam Terminal, I think most people in here are. They focus on helping new Steamians. They're hooked up with Hey, Have You Met? There's quite a few folks that are regular attendees here, and wow, y'all know that stuff. But anyway, it's pretty neat. It's December, send a wreath. So every day they have a couple of people they put in there and kind of feature, and I thought that was pretty neat. I was looking for something so I could pimp a post, and I saw this, and I said, "Wow, this is pretty cool." And I like the wreath with the little bells; it's very pretty. So there you go.
So
Uh,
why would they need a community called Breakout, Weeb?
It's not a community, it's a hive.
No, that's what's his name? Injun trying to put a different name onto something. They're communities. That's what's being
Yeah,
built.
I know, but they've all got the hive name, and I was thinking of breakout and hives.
Oh, good lord! You were trying to be a little corny with it, were you?
It apparently failed.
And talking about the wreath and the post that Sarge just shared, that was actually a wreath that was made by Britt. Britt and Josie, who's one of our admins, and she shared that photo with us, and Ren liked it so much. She said, "Ooh, I want to use that in our post." So Britt said, "Go for it."
Okay, Safi, you are up. Yeah, it looks like she's pimping one for Injun.
Yeah, I thought this was a really good idea. And I think the pictures are always amazing with these girls. And I think that the Christmas list was really sweet. I thought that was fun to read. And I think we all made lists before, and it's fun to read what they had on their wish list and how things looks in color, and how different things can look in black and white. So, and the message, I think it's really inspiring. So I think it's a really good post, and I want to share it.
Very nice. And since Injun's hanging out at the dance class, you got him covered. Oh, it wouldn't surprise me that it is. Yep. For some reason, the streams run real well on Facebook and YouTube, and every now and again gives out on Vim, and I have to refresh it and restart it. Don't know why. All right. Thank you, Safi. And Nightmare, you're up. Okay, what do you got here?
So it's a post by Bliss. She said she want to be here, but she's very sleepy. So I think I need to promote this her post, even though actually the words was mine. I think because it's question and answer.
So
Uh,
what's it about, Nightmare?
so it's a question and answer post. Then I was the one that was being asked by Bliss. I think it's for me it's last night because that was already 10 in the evening. But I read this post just now. So there's not too many words I can tell because it's my answer here. It's it's the question that I answered. So see it for yourself.
Yeah, she did an interview with I Am Rain Crystal.
Ah, okay. Very good.
She's very clever, Bless. I really like her posts. I like her movie reviews and stuff. She's doing very well. Only been on the platform 5 months. She's doing a great smash up job.
Good for her. Nice work. Thank you, Nightmare. And Deranged, you're up. Okay, Wes, tell us about this. Oh, you got text there. I missed that. Okay, my daughter made the basketball team at her school and had her first game last night. Here are some of the shots that I took of her game. I'm pretty proud of how awesome she did at the game and can't wait to see her play again. Very nice. How old is she, Deranged? 14. That's a age that can be fraught. Good for her making the basketball team. She never played it before. Well, good for her. She's obviously got some ability at it.
Yeah, she must be junior varsity.
Well, if she enjoys it, all the better. So I'm assuming that there's a series of schools that they're playing against that they'll be doing a bit of traveling as well. Going to teach her to dunk on people? Does that mean that instead of a basketball, you're going to throw people through the hoop? There's no away game tonight. Yeah, fun matters the most, that's for sure. All right.
Teaches teamwork, and that's good.
Yep. Okay, Axeman, you're up. Oh, I never started the giveaways, so I will start them now. Careful on that done stuff. And one more to go in. And 2 giveaways are running. There we go. Oh, I almost missed Axeman's post there. And the text that's with that post says, a very wide-angle lens of spectacular burning clouds on sunset at the coast of the Baltic Sea, Lithuania. Some deeper red reflection on the wet sand surface brings another dimension to the final result. It does too.
Boy, you got a really good eye there, Axeman, for taking pictures and stuff. That takes a talent to catch stuff like.
He does have a really good eye. Red reflection looks like a skull, a devilish cloud. At one time, they probably would have looked at it as exactly that. The devil at play. Yes, witch. Very nice. Okay, Nightmare. Oh, Nightmare. Where are you? Wait a sec. You're searching. You weren't expecting me to call on you? Hey, Hobo. There we go. Okay, tell us about this.
So I made this post because of some random people who did some comments on my post. And I really don't like those comments. Thanks for the memories. Uh, Thanks for sharing, something like that. So I made this content. I titled it, I have something to say in the comment about comment. I explained there that how important is the comment. Then if you'll just comment like something like that, then just don't do so. Just upvote it and leave it instead of reading this kind of comments. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. I didn't like
So they were doing
it's
comments for the sake of comments rather than actual comments?
yeah. in this content, uh, I specify about the comments. I want it to be real. Don't just visit the post then without reading it and just say thanks for sharing. Nice post.
You mean like don't just say beautiful?
You think? Like in the old days. Oh, nice post. Follow me, I follow you.
Yeah.
Look at my last post.
Yeah, I was annoyed of it. That's why I made this content.
I really love the ones that try to guess the content based on the title and then give some really weird ass comments.
Then I'm lucky because OCDB upvoted me with a little about.
So pretty much what you're trying to tell him, Mr. Nightmare, is if you're gonna leave one, don't bother. Just don't even bother commenting.
Leave a real comment or go away.
Yeah, I think this kind of offensive content, but I just wrote it. I think I need to.
So, Nightmare, I'm gonna point something out to you that shows how you've grown on this platform because when you first started, those were the types of comments you left. So you've grown on this platform.
Don't feel bad, buddy. I used to do the same thing,
Yeah,
but
a lot of people have. But it's really good when you start to notice it yourself because
No, because sometimes I'm so excited to read some comments. Then after I said it, that's just a short comment. I was
yeah. But no, it's
well,
it's good. You're noticing it. Some people never notice it, and then they kind of look and go, "Why does nobody like my posts?"
well, it could be worse. You could get like a wall comment from like, oh, I'm not going to mention any names, but his initial is Coin Instant. It's like a wall of just that has nothing to do with your.
You give some funny initials there, Sarge.
Yeah, shame on me.
well. Sometimes this kind of posts, I don't care if nobody notices. As long as I could express it, I could express it. Then if they don't upload it, well, I don't care as long as the content. I'm I'm being specific about the content.
Yeah. Safi says, like, great job, dude. Those are comments that girls quite often get. Range likes being called dear.
Uh, and also, I think some of my posts said, there's a comment said that, thanks for the memories. But my content was about the typhoon. I said, please be safe. Then he said, thanks for the memories. So I replied, dude, it's not a memory.
They don't get what they don't get. Translate, we'll call friend dear. Oh, how nice. Okay, Safi, you're next. Thank you, Nightmare.
Okay, so this was an early Christmas present for her mom. Uh, she loves these kind of things, and uh, they have it at the museum at my hometown, and they have it different times of the year, but in Christmas it's really special, and she liked to go there and be inspired and see some old stuff they did back then, tablecloth, and I saw some stuff that I remember from when I was a little kid, and that my grandmother has, and I've seen them made some of this themselves, so it was really fun to see. and it was
Doesn't that really age you when you look at something and you go, I remember that when I was a kid?
yeah, I'm old.
I like the Advent candles there. The Advent candles. Was-
Yeah, they had a lot of that, and there was also some of the candles that I remember we used to have at home, and my grandmother had a few of them too, so I took some closer picture on some of them to
There you go, Safi. You can't be old because you and Katrina are the same age. Good to see you,
thank you.
Katrina.
Yeah, don't call yourself old because what's that make s- some of the rest of us in here?
See, I like my uncle's line on it. You cannot call yourself old till you're 100, in which case none of us qualify. So we all get to be whatever we are before we're old because we're not 100. Weeb is going to stay immature.
Well, I wish my body was as immature as my mind is. I'd be in good shape.
So, speaking of 100, um, my uncle went and did his government driving test yesterday, and he's now licensed until he's 100 years old. So there we go. We can call him old at that point. Thank you, Safi. And Weeb. Oh, Weeb, you're up.
Yeah, I don't even have anything to follow up with any of this, so I'll just throw something.
What do you mean follow up?
Well, the conversation was going in one fun direction, and now I'm just kind of boring it.
That's
So
okay. There's one thing you learn real quick on PYPT. The conversation will go in all kinds of different directions. So you don't worry about it. It'll come back around.
awesome. So I have been incredibly super busy lately. November, December are busy times with three boys in the house. So my activity around the blockchain has been limited. I'm sure a lot of people have wondered just where the hell I've disappeared to, and it's my basement. But trying to get back into the swing of things, I've decided that with December, I've got all of these little ceramic houses. I've got a ton of them. It certainly seems like a ton when I'm hauling them out every year. But I thought I would start to build an Advent story around. It's a way of at least trying to keep me to stay a little bit more active than I have been. So here's day one. If you're interested in keeping in track of it, there it is.
So you're going to do a different story each day for Advent?
It's going to be the same story. I'm making it up as I go along, so I don't know what's going to happen one day to the next.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just building, one paragraph or so a day.
That is really neat. My sister, God bless her, she before she sold the house, she had a collection of those little light up Christmassy things, like a little village, I guess, like you got. Those are cool. She always break them out Christmas time.
Yeah, they're really, really, really pretty. I love them. And I say this about Christmas lights all the time. I love the lights. I love to look at them. Getting them out is a trial in patience, and it almost invariably leads me to come up with new and novel ways of cursing.
So you don't just put them up and leave them up.
No, I don't. I don't. I've got cats. They would knock them off as soon as they.
There are some people that they put their outside lights up and they just leave them up. Well, yeah, cats have a belief that nothing should be up above the floor.
That's exactly correct. It needs to be down.
I fairly routinely wake up to the sound of my iPad hitting the floor because Hobo has decided that it shouldn't be laying on the side table. So thankfully, I have it in a case so that it you know buffers the drop. Not to mention it's going down on carpet.
Well, even though I'm a convert to Judaism, I mean, I grew up with Christmas, 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 Anglican church. So I put lights up every year around my apartment.
All right. Yeah, I never put decorations up.
I had some white deer that, well, the lights died. So I kind of placed them out as a plot.
The community north of here where I used to live, there was a lady that she had been a school teacher for years and years and years. And she would build life-size nativity scene out on the front her front yard, which I thought was really cool. She had them beautifully lit up, and you drive by, and there's this wonderful life-size nativity scene. Until the day that I visited her house, and I come to find out that she had rooms in her basement that were also made up in various settings. I walked into a room one day and thought that there was somebody in there, and I excused myself before I realized it was a statue. It was something she did as a hobby. Quite amazing.
There's some people that go all out. We got places around here, my God, the old front lawn district, all kind of stuff. Looks like Disneyland or something.
Yeah, some people really do. Oh, okay, Katrina. Well, I'll let Kitty Girl go ahead, and then when you're back, you're next. Go ahead, Kitty Girl.
Well, this morning I shared a post about rubies. Somebody asked me if I had any ruby crystals, and I did have a few, and I shared the post this morning. And this is part two, and it's talking about the rubies that I have as jewelry that are wearable. And there is one. Ah, shoot, he's gone. Um, Ingenuity was here a few
He left
minutes
just when
ago,
you
and
wanted him.
yeah, and I wanted to be sure that he knew that. Oh, there he is back again. Yeah, I wanted Ingenuity to know there is a picture in this post dedicated to him. Um, and let's see, can everybody hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I've had phone calls try to come in, and my computer was hotspotted to my phone, so I didn't know if I'd lost connection there while it was ringing or not. Usually people know not to call me on Thursdays, but this friend must have forgotten. I'll call her back in a bit. But anyway, yeah. So this post is part two of the rubies, and it's showing some ruby jewelry. And so anybody who really likes stones or likes jewelry or likes sciencey things, those ruby posts should be interesting for you.
I think I know which picture is for Ingenuity.
Yeah, I
Probably
was
wouldn't
just
be
thinking the
hard to
same thing.
figure.
There's only one that would apply.
That cleavage.
Yeah. Kitty Girl's not
And actually,
commenting.
I see. Well, I was reading what Nightmare wrote. He said, "And I have a lot of rubies. You're a millionaire, I think." Well, actually, the rubies that I've got are not really all that expensive. Um, I think I paid, like $10 for one of them, 15 for another, so forth. And collected them slowly over the course of 15, 20 years or whatever. So yeah, it's not that bad.
All right. So I gotta check up here at the giveaway channel and see. Engine, Contraborden, and Axeman, are you present? Axeman I see, Contraborden I see, Engine, you were here a minute ago. There you go. You guys have got SBI. We'll note.
Yay, more downvote.
He's getting so spread out that his downvotes really aren't counting for much of anything.
Oh, I know. I mean, he downvoted my curation of PYPT, and then Wes, I was on Discord with him. He said, "Watch this." Oh my God! I got the Alliance. I got curated by the Helpy. He said, "I think that'll cover all."
So you got to keep in mind, Engine, that those six downvotes, only one of them actually hits the Steam. The rest of them are all about tokens.
I was chatting with a couple of people earlier, and I was thinking that a really fun thing to do would be to buy that fellow a couple of SBI shares. I think he would appreciate.
Actually, he needs to have more than that because I was talking to Joseph, and I had a fairly long conversation this afternoon, and he would actually need about $10 to $20 worth of SBI before he would start getting the regular votes.
Hey, I got 2 Steam. Anybody else want to throw in? We'll all go ahead and sponsor him for SBIs. I'm going to do that. I like that idea. I love being passive aggressive. Sometimes it's better than just being aggressive.
So the other thing I learned today that a lot of that stake that he's using to downvote on the Steam is leased. Is it MMMKKK or something like that is his name? Yeah, there it is. So if you take a look at another account called Hallman and do a check on Steam reports, you're going to find out that he does a whole lot of upvoting of Hallman.
Well, I know Crypto Drive is a big, well, not a huge delegator to him. I think about 1,000 SP or something. And I was going to talk to him. I DM'd him and said, I have some concerns. And then Crypto Drive got back with me. And I said, forget about it. I'm not even going to pursue it. But I was just going to ask him, you see what this guy's doing? And I notice you're one of his largest delegators.
I don't think he's a delegator. I think he's leasing the Steam to him through D-Lease.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's my understanding.
I go on the Steam world and, but they don't break it down that way. They just say delegated to, whether it's being leased or anything. You'd have to dig deeper.
When he first started, he was doing some fairly substantial downvotes, but now it's spread out to the point that he's really not able to do much. 10%, approximately 10% of active Steamians are enrolled in SBI. So for him to try to downvote everybody who's receiving SBI votes he's not going to get very far.
Yeah, his downvotes are pretty ineffective. It's just,
Yeah.
I think with a lot of people with the downvotes, it's not so much the amounts or anything. It's just it's a psychological thing, you
Yeah.
know. At least it is with me. You know, I'm like, well, why are you downvoting me? I mean, it'd be nice for you to tell me. You know, was it a shit post? Because when I make a shit post, I tell people this is a shit post. You know, but you know, tell me why are you downvoting me? What I do? What I do?
Yeah, I think we have to kind of get by that unless it actually impacts the vote or the value. It's best to ignore them anymore.
Well, yeah, because you got like Camille Steamer, and there's no rhyme or reason why that person downvotes. And there's a few others out there like that. They just downvote to downvote. I guess they want to use up their downvote manner or something.
Yeah, it's a little insane. So Katrina, you're back.
I am. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, good.
There we go.
Hey, there's no picture. Oh well. Um, I disappeared for a while, other than kitty posts, because my new kitten. But um, Communities is starting in beta, and Rhonda pulled me over into the Steam House community. She's like, "Try this, see if you can post." I'm like, "Okay, I guess I'll write a post." So I did. um, about what I've been doing, and I have basically written a full manuscript in 23 days. Um, and that's a lot of fun, and it's a high. Uh, but I'm still riding, but I think that all of the late nights have maybe caught up with me because I'm a little bit tired today. And I have less patience for my children. They're like, "Mom, do this. Mom, can I ask you this? Mom." I'm like, "Okay, you guys can watch cartoons now because I just can't."
Yeah, watch cartoons before Mums explodes at you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Screen time healthier than upset mommy.
Yeah, yeah. Save your life. Go watch those and be quiet.
Seriously.
How's Kitty doing?
She's doing very well. Yes,
Good.
both cats are doing well. They love each other. It's a wonderful thing, and yeah, and I've been writing up a story.
Perfect. It's good when they're buddies.
Now,
It's amazing, yeah.
are your books on Amazon?
I've only published two, Sarge. I have quite a few others that I'm working on. This one, yeah, none of them are quite ready to publish, and I am still pursuing traditional publishing, which takes eons to make happen. Some of them might get published independently at some point. I just haven't made that decision yet. So when I say I wrote a book, I wrote a book, but it actually seeing the light of day publicly, not for a little while.
Well, I'll have to see if the publishers sell them on Amazon. Your two, those are the two that you publish: Yoga for Dragon Riders and Wild Horse.
Yes, those two are published, and there's links to those on my blog posts as well. Thank you, Kitty, for dropping that. That's so sweet. But this one is a fantasy, and the characters, like, you know how I don't remember which god sprung fully formed from Zeus's head, but or goddess or whatever that story is. But this is sort of how my latest story came to me. It just kept downloading, and that's really fun as a writer.
When it just rolls out.
it just kept on rolling. This is also the first story where all of my stories involve romances of some sort, but this is the first one. It's a forbidden love story, and I managed to mostly keep my characters apart for the whole book because there's a couple more in the story. I envisioned it as a trilogy, so I didn't even let them kiss. He kissed her hand,
Why?
but that's it.
It's
Which
not
is
gonna
kind
be.
of a big deal for me.
It's not gonna be a whirlwind romance.
No, no. I've written a few of those. This one is you have to wait till the very end for them to actually, proclaim their feelings for each other. But it's fun. She takes an arrow for him, and there's a lot of action in it. Good to see you, Deranged Vision.
Glad you were here, Deranged. Even if you were at work. All right. Thank you, Katrina. And your fan Nightmare is next up. Ah, okay. Why are you embarrassed, Nightmare? You're past this. Share your post. He's fired. Fired from where?
I think he was saying if Ingenuity doesn't share his post, he's fired.
Yeah, I know what he said, but I said he's fired from where? Didn't know he had him hired.
We'll have to take his title of pimp away.
Yes, there we go. I hired him to fire him. Ah, that'll do it. So Nightmare is reneging on us. So Safi, you're up. There she is. I see her typing. And she stopped typing. There we are.
Yeah, I kind of had the wrong link, so I had to take it away and find it again. Yeah, this is a coin that I got today, and I kind of like that antique kind of silver, and this one was with a Emmet stone, and I don't know, I fell in love with it. I thought it was really beautiful, and yeah, it looks even better in real life than it does in a picture. So yeah, it was a good one.
So Nightmare has asked, what is steam silver?
Seems like the stem silver rounds.
That's what he says. What is steam silver?
Are you talking about the steam silver and gold community, Mr. Nightmare?
Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah, they're a group of people on Steam. They call them stackers and stuff like that. They're just enthusiasts for um, Steam silver and gold coins and medallions and stuff.
I think a dog won that coin. I think it's Steam Silver coin. I'm not sure about this.
Yeah.
From
There's
what
a
I
Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you. There's a steam silver round that has been done each year. Is that what you're talking about?
I think that was.
Yeah, they just did the latest minting of that round.
Yeah, and they started to send out some of them already.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, Ray has the first shipment, and he's getting ready to send them out.
So he's asking, is it a true silver?
Yes, it is a true silver piece of silver, 991 troy ounce.
There we go.
Yeah, that first one I put is 2019, and then that second one there, that's from 2018.
So what do those run when they are being sold?
Um, I I got in early in the ordering. I think it was like $24 a piece, something like that, roughly.
That's not that bad for a coin. Coins can be a lot more expensive than that.
Yeah, they come with a certificate of authenticity and everything. They're real collector's items, and of course, you got your 0.99% of pure silver in there.
Right. It's quite a hobby.
I'll upload a picture of the 2019 round that's just come in from the mint that Ray's getting ready to send out to those of us.
What were the ones you put up, Sarge? 2018?
The first one I put up was 2019. That's the 2019 one, that first one, and then the picture. There's a hand holding it. That was the 2019 one. And then the second one on the little stand, that was the 2018 one.
So I'm taking that what Kitty Girl's showing there is the other side of it.
Yeah, the side Sarge showed is the same for each year. It's only the other side that changes.
Yeah. Quite a
Yeah,
lot of
so look
detailed
at
work on
Sarge's
that.
picture and then my picture, and you get to see both sides of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's the other side of the 2019 one there.
Well, they used the Tree of Life.
Actually, the Tree of Life is the 2018.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you're right. The image said 2019. 2018, isn't it? I don't have any. I just see the pictures on here and stuff.
Nothing wrong with that. Let's see. Injun and Axeman, are you both present? Axeman's still with us? Yep. You guys get to be shady tonight. You wish. All right. Axeman, speaking of which, you're up. Okay. Sometimes the beauty could be killing in a straightforward meeting. Be aware about this beauty warrior lady. Her sword is sharp and quick. Natural light only, shot at an abandoned building. Hope it was on a warm day. Can't do that to you. Control yourself, guy. Katrina would like the sword. He has a collection. Katrina, you may be traveling. A couple of them still not photo shooted yet. Oh, a Merlin sword. It would be a piece of art. All right. Contra Borden, you're up.
All right, this post, post, but I found it completely hilarious because of Cly's GIF comment. Basically, if you read the caption of Exile's post, basically the only thing we saw was Gut is definitely getting smaller, and even the tits have retracted a bit. So Cly put Giphy tits, and it came up with this awesome Giphy, and I just lost it.
Yeah, that's typical for him. Injun should like that one. He's going to have to check it out on his own. Axman says Apex is quite promising. So are you getting some decent results on Apex, Axman? Yeah, he's very much a nut. Ah, that's one way of doing it. That would be typical for him. Thank you, Contra Burden. And Stunk, you're up. Happy to be home?
Oh, very, very.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah. This is my post. It's that ongoing story that I've been doing, and this is part 3. But the way I set it up, part 3 is at the top, but I also put part 1 and 2 in there. So if you need like pictures, you can go back to the post because the title's linked to the post. And my sarcasm. Not many people get my sarcasm. And and so yeah, I wrote it, and I was glad that I got the third part out. So there's still more to write, but at least it's I got some of the backstory in there this time. So I was pretty happy about it.
Good stuff. So I gotta ask, Snook, how much of a happy dance were you doing yesterday afternoon?
Afternoon. Oh. From I was shocked. Honest to God, I'm still trying to figure out how he managed. If we're
Well,
talking about the same thing, I'll be
we are.
honest.
We are.
I actually wrote him 3 times today. How did you do that? Because and he's like, what? And I said, I mentioned it, and I was like, I ain't touching that. So I was in shock. I was like, really?
I would imagine the person who wanted it was in shock too.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. And I think my mom actually had a laugh about what my newest thing. I don't know if I can say or not. So,
Yeah, go ahead. Okay, so
oh,
rather than keep everybody in the dark, what we're talking about is the positions on the foundation board. And somebody wanted the position of chair, but nobody else wanted that person to have it. So I agreed yesterday to accept it, but I couldn't be at the meeting, so the information had to be passed on. And Stook is the secretary.
yeah, yeah. I am the secretary. How ironic is that?
Why?
Which, ex, which, oh, I don't know. Which, on top of everything, it should make you feel better. I had specifically said I will be anything but the secretary and the treasurer,
Yeah.
figuring I was pretty safe that way. Little did I know I was not.
So you see, that's why I did it. See,
Yeah, just to make me have to take notes.
yeah. Oh,
Paper. First, first time Guilty saw my notes on a piece of paper, he was like, "You, you took notes, like real notes on paper." I'm like, "Well, how else do you take notes?"
you, you typed them.
I can't type that fast
Oh, okay.
and be able to read it. So yeah, no, I have it written on paper with little doodles and stuff.
Well, whatever works for you.
Yeah, you know, I feel like I'm in high school with my little doodles.
Some of us actually still know how to write in cursive.
Yes, I write in cursive. I consider it keeping my cursive up so that I can write it a secret code for the younger generation. All I have to do is write cursive. They can't read it.
Yeah, that's it. Everybody laughs in family because my handwriting is very similar to my mother's handwriting. My mother taught me how to do cursive. I had a lot of trouble with it in school, so I have a very. They say it looks like a girl's writing, but it was my mother that taught me how to write in cursive. So they laugh in the family, say, "Eh, Uncle
See,
Dad writes like our
the
mom."
unfortunate part of it is taking it out of the schools is they have actually done studies and have proven that the hand and eye coordination that is needed to write cursive improves learning abilities. So them taking it out of the school is not doing a service to the children.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, even Hebrew is a blocky letter writing, but they have a cursive version. It's cursive.
Well, I sort of get the logic in the sense that the kids are going to do more keyboarding than they actually are handwriting. But when it has an educational ability, to help them improve their writing or their learning, then it loses that logic.
Well, my question is, how the hell are these kids going to endorse a check?
Yeah, how do they do that if they don't know cursive?
Spit on
They
it.
don't. There's no checks. They do digital banking.
Yep.
That's true. I write very few checks anymore.
But I still think that, I mean, if I write a letter or a note, I mean, I do it in cursive. So I could send people stuff and they'd be like, "What?"
No, they won't learn it. They can't read it. Matter of fact, I know a young lady who's now a young woman who I wrote something one day and she looked at me and went, "What does that say?" And I was like, "Read it." She's like, "I can't read that. It's not printed."
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
when I write things or write notes, because I'm still kind of old school with stuff, and I have a notebook. I write things in there. I try to do journaling. I've been trying to get back into that. Not so much just for me, a journal, just ideas and stuff. It's catharsis, but
Yeah,
takes me forever.
there is legal documents that will still require signatures.
Very true. Mine does not resemble
Yeah,
my name. What? Well, it does a little, but not much.
mine does, but it's you can very clearly see what my name is if you use a magnifying glass.
Oh, you're right. Like my husband, all squished up and tiny.
No, it's not squished up. It's just very fine.
Hmm.
I use a very fine pen and I write accordingly.
Oh, I hated fine pens.
See, I used to be able to put a semester's worth of work on an 8.5 by 11 both sides.
No way.
Yeah, for a crib sheet for the exams.
That's tiny.
It was normal for me.
Wow.
And that's why my mom taught me, because I used to, when I was young, when I was first learning to write, it was so tiny, and then my mom would sit with me, and I had the old, I don't know if you remember them, the lined paper, and it had the dots in it, and I'd have to sit there and do my cursive letters and stuff.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, mom would sit with me. Although my F's are kind of strange looking because of the way mom made her F's, and my S's too are kind of different. I mean, you can tell it's an S, but it's just the way she used to write.
There's a bit of a point to that, kitty girl, to a degree. Did you drop a latte in here? No, but you did an emoji, and you're next up. I've never seen a latte
A
dropped in.
latte? I was like, what?
I thought, has he been to Starbucks or what?
I was actually at Starbucks today. I treated myself, but I didn't get a latte.
What are you
I got
doing?
a I got a green iced tea. It's your turn, Pimp Shady.
There we go.
Hello, testing, testing, one, two, three.
I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear.
Okay, great. This is the Life Without Color, which is the contest that I rearranged my post for that Sarah dropped earlier. What it is throughout your week or the next 2 days or the past 2 days, however you want to do it, you take a few, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, however many pictures you want to take of just randomness, or maybe you can have a theme to it. Mine had no rhyme or reason. It was just random things that I had taken pictures of. Not fired. I'm a total pimp. I have things to do on Thursdays that tend to get in the way sometimes. Really loud dance class, so getting on voice was not very conducive there. Driving, all that good stuff. But yeah, and the Life with Color, what it is he wants you to compare each photo. He wants you to put, like, of the 3 and 4 or 5 or however many that you want to do. You do the color version and the black and white version, and you compare them and think to yourself, wow, is that better in black and white or color? All my pictures, with maybe the exception of one, looked a lot better in color because I see life in color. I can't imagine life without color, or even being colorblind. You know, I mean, how does it is colorblind even real? Is that really real?
Oh,
Because
it's
when
real.
you're taught red is red and green is green. So how do you know if it's not red or green? How can you say that? Oh, well, to me it looks red when you are taught that that is red. I will never understand color blindness.
Some people see things in different colors or shades. I had an uncle who, believe it or not, earned a living as a painter, who was colorblind and saw everything in shades of purple. People would have to tell him what the colors were.
Oh, wow.
You'd say to him, "What color was that room, Tom?" "Purple."
Purple though? Out of anything? Purple?
Some shade of violet.
Everything was a shade of purple. That was his color spectrum with his eyesight.
I like purple. Tuck made my name, put me in the chat over there on the whatever you want to call it, Luxax, and made me purple. He's like, well, what color do you want? I was like, purple is perfect. Don't change it. I like purple. But yeah, the contest here, y'all should go enter and Deranged is pretty good curator. He's got quite a few different accounts and knows a few people here and there that might come through and say hi to your post. But it was fun.
Sounds like it.
The first picture, I'm gonna make a whole post around it online to be yourself or whatever. I forget what it is now, but yeah, there you go, Wes. I pimped you, man.
I guess
I'm
you won't
good
get
on these.
fired now.
I won't get fired. I just got a raise, in fact.
He hired you to fire you. Safi, are you gonna do two? Safi, are you gonna do two posts?
Oh, I
Yeah,
put
I'll
one
jump back in
already.
the queue whenever it's clever.
Oh,
I think I
okay.
put a thing.
Well, I saw you put that in, but I wasn't sure whether you were getting impatient or whether you had a another post,
Yeah, I'm just gonna bug you. So
and you're going back in
I do
because you're
I do have one post, but yeah, it's
you're up now. So I'll also add you back into the list too.
You doing the latte or the non-latte?
Yeah.
Full
The
on triple
frappuccino?
espresso. No, I'm just kidding.
So this is what happens when you use the coffee mug for the emoji, Katrina. I put the pimp underneath it. Go for it, Safi. Tell us about your post here. Did we lose you?
yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm having a little trouble. I no, but this is another of the barn pictures that Kitty has, and I really like this one too. It kind of looks a little bit mysterious. Kind of covers, um, kind of the environment is beautiful, and her edits it's always beautiful. And this one is in middle of nowhere, as I understand it, and it's uh, yeah, it's really beautiful, and it's kind of
It
a
is.
little bit mysterious, and it cover almost half of the house, it seems, and I could totally live there.
I could if it wasn't wintertime. Although some days in the winter, who cares?
Well, you'd need a light post, Sassy.
You need what?
A light post, lamp post.
Oh, okay. When you said light post, I was thinking about, a post on Steven. And I went, what's a light post?
Oh no. I can see that, but no, I meant a lamp. Like, yeah, no, not a post.
A pole light.
That's fun. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know how else to say it.
I do love those effects that Kitty Girl puts on those barns. I mean, it is so unique and It's just cool. And
She
yes,
does some
Kitty,
good work.
I'm making that my desktop wallpaper right now because I really like that. It's really pretty.
There you go. We are hanging out on Sarge's computer now. Well, your work is, anyways. All right. Thank you, Safi. And Katrina, you're up.
Okay, so Steamhouse Publishing has been around for a while, working on projects, and like most projects, especially really big ones, they don't always go as planned. Um, but I love that it continues to evolve, and there I am glad to see some progress being made. I like the idea of a literary journal. And anyway, this is the latest report. I'm the only one who's commented on it so far. um, I would love to see a little bit more attention being brought to this. This partially because I think that the Steamhouse community is of value personally, and selfishly because I want more writers to come to the blockchain, and I think that Steamhouse is a good um, could be an excellent draw for that, especially because it's being targeted for mainstream. It's not targeting people who are necessarily into cryptocurrency because there's a very small percentage of the literary and publishing community who is even remotely interested in cryptocurrency. They're interested in words and stories. And so going ahead with the literary journal aimed towards the mainstream rather than aimed towards people who are into crypto or into blockchains, I think is a really good idea.
Very good. I hadn't actually seen that, but my Genobot is out of commission.
Oh dear.
What happened to Gina?
Well, apparently myself and some others have got some sort of a problem that the developers are not going to try to repair because they're working on a new version of Genobot to come out in the new year. So until the new version comes out, Gina's not working for me. It just
That's
stopped and said, I've had enough of you.
Twice.
Yeah, so hopefully the same problem won't be there come the new year or when the new one comes out. So the main thing seems to be that the DM that we all get just it's not across the board, Kitty Girl. It seems to be just certain people, and they're not elaborating as to why. But the connection to develop, to get the DM seems to be getting lost someplace. Like I can go into GinaBot here in the Discord, and I can do a Gina command like dot dot help, and it'll tell me that it's sending a DM with all the help commands, and nothing arrives. I even at one point I deleted my GinaBot account and then re-registered, and it still wouldn't do it.
Oh, it's a conspiracy.
Yep. So apparently the only suggestion they had was for me to actually have a second Discord account and then register on that account. And that's just a pain in the ass. One of the benefits of Gina is it's all on this.
Yeah, right. So you get it. You don't have to log in separately or whatever.
Yeah. Although I suppose if I logged into the second account in the browser rather than on the desktop, that might work. I may play with it. We'll see. That looks pretty cool as wallpaper, Sarge.
Yeah, it is pretty. I like it. I gotta clean up my desktop. I got too much stuff on there.
Oh, you wouldn't want to look at my desktop then.
Yeah,
Injun!
me either.
Injun, you're up. Some of you people must be really minimalist with icons on desktop.
Well,
Not me.
I save everything on there because that's why I hate Windows. It's got that damn OneDrive or whatever, and I can never find nothing. I try to organize everything in the folder, and then I don't know if it's on the hard drive or on the OneDrive or where. It's just not.
Oh, Injun left us? His connection probably went on him again. So, Safi, that means you're back. He may get back in.
Is it me again?
Yes, it is. We'll give you a moment to grab a link.
And now I have files on my laptop.
What's that?
Now I have files on my laptop that I gotta get over to my computer at home. Boy, what a difference does having my real screen size make.
Do you normally have two screens or just the one large screen?
Large screens. And I had a laptop screen and a small monitor at mom's.
Oh, lucky you.
Yes. And I came home, I turned my computer on, and I was like, ah, I love you.
Yeah, I had two screens at one time, but the little small square one I had, little flat screen, I think one of the capacitors went. I was going to take it apart, replace it, go down here to the computer store and get another capacitor. And I said, nah, I don't think so.
It's just easier on my eyes reading. I don't have to squint, and the colors are better. And like when I'm designing stuff in like The Sims and that's when I miss it because everything looks really muted on the other one. And I played with the settings on it, and it just doesn't. It's not the same.
So great fun and games. Okay. So, Safi's got a post here.
Yeah, it's one. I actually saw this recently. I hadn't seen it before, and it kind of explained this whole thing about the hive, the kind of communities. And I know whenever there is a new thing out, Coffee's always, he always has to try everything, see, oh, this is good or this is bad. So um, he tried it out, and he tells a little bit about it, how you can join and what it is that you can do. So yeah, it's another good.
Yeah, you're a little bit of a minimalist there, kitty girl. Just a little bit of one. Girls playing hide and seek, not the modem out. Oh, that'll do it. So, are the communities that anybody can join at this point? I understood it was a closed beta.
As far as I understood it, it was closed, but I don't know.
No, they just opened it up to everybody. Andrew was talking about that at the film
I think so too.
today.
So they they take it they haven't made an announcement about it yet.
But how do you
No,
find?
I haven't seen anything. I mean, he talked about it at the Philly meetup yesterday when I was over there, and that's the first thing I did because
Yeah, Marky has a show.
all Marky did.
Well, Marky has a show. Yeah, over on blah, blah.
Yeah, over on MSP Waves.
Yeah, and you just then you have that option there to subscribe to the communities.
So I'll have to. So they haven't actually taken out a beta. They've just sort of opened it up for everybody to go in and tinker around.
I don't know.
Yeah, they have. There's a whole bunch of communities. And you see in those tags they have you see like recently in some of these posts they got like a tag it'll say hive dash and then a number. So you can name your community whatever you want. You can have two communities with the same name.
You
It's that
can.
hive dash with the number that identifies that as a particular community and stuff. That's like the identifier.
You can also change the name of a community once you've established it.
Oh yeah, that's why they have that hive dash. That's the identifier, I guess, like a Steam name or something. But as far as the displays and stuff, you can change that to whatever you want at any time.
Okay, you beat me, Shadows. Holy shit!
Every once in a while, I go in and dig some of them out, but otherwise, that's normal.
Wow. I that would drive me insane. I when I get to 4 rows on the left side, that's when I start cleaning stuff.
I've got stuff in a
That
folder, and I've got them. They're organized. It's organized disorganization. So there you go.
chaos, yeah, that would drive me.
So now you know why I was chuckling when you said about those are a lot of icons.
Oh God, it's making me nervous just looking at all those folders.
Good lord, folks.
You were all laughing at me and all the icons I had. She got me beat, I think. Well,
That
I think it's
that was the reason I was chuckling there when they were making comments there, Sarge. Well, yeah, it's there. It might as well get used. See, that's my laptop desktop. My other monitor doesn't have any icons at all.
yep. Well, my laptop, I run Linux Mint like Pensive does. I'm a Linux Mint guy, but on my main computer, the one I bought from Sister, this big gaming computer and stuff. That I put Windows on there mostly for Motivelli for the gaming. Is the only reason I went to Windows because I prefer Linux. But you know,
Well, for all you know, those PDFs might be together in alphabetical order. Actually, they're in order by the topics that I want them in. See, that looks like somebody who just doesn't do anything.
Well, I don't work on the desktop. I work in various applications.
Yeah, well, I work in applications, but my desktop is where my reference material is.
what is that? A Mac there? What is that, Wavy?
Yes, sir. That's exactly what it is.
I have a Mac in the back that weighs about 20 tons. One of them old gray ones. It just sits back there. I use it as a side.
Yeah, I really love the fact that I've got two monitors, so that I can spread my windows around a little bit more. Actually, if I had the working space, I'd probably be going for a third monitor. You know, people used to talk about having multiple monitors, and I was like, what for? And now that I've got one, it's like, oh yeah, can't be without it.
No, it's hard once you have two monitors to go back to one.
Yep.
And actually, when I was at mom's, to go from one monitor to the other, I had to go left to the left, like backwards.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm back home where I can go the right, like the normal right to left. Or, yeah,
Now
anyway.
your brain is rewired.
So now I'm like, oh no. And so now I'm doing the cursive dance of, oh no, it's at the wrong one. Oh wait, I gotta, where the hell's my cursor?
Well, it's really nice if you do a lot of streaming like Shadows does and stuff. I mean, if you're on Windows, you can extend the windows. You have the one monitor, you have the OBS open, the other monitor, you could have other
That's
stuff going on there.
yeah. That's actually why I needed it, or I got two monitors in the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
instead of having,
it's just so much.
Yeah,
yeah, it's
I
just,
I have Discord open on my laptop, and everything else is over on the bigger monitor so that I can move stuff around.
The new modem that you're just fell on the floor.
So is it any more stable for you, Engine? Or you just got it so you don't know yet? Oh, it was on the floor. They just unplugged it for him.
Have a great night, Katrina. It was nice hearing your voice.
Take care,
You
Katrina.
too. Thank you.
God bless you, Katrina, and them little one.
So, Engine, did you have another post you wanted to share? We called on you and you'd poofed.
Poofed. Get it?
Yeah, he poofed. He literally poofed. They disconnected him.
Yeah, I got a couple here and there. This one I really like. It's the whole lovey-dovey story type thing. But
Oh,
what really got me is late last week. I've been following Yeti. He's been making his own handmade knives and stuff, and there's a little symbol on the one he finished. And I was like, "What the heck is that?" And he's like, "Oh, that's our family symbol." And that's all he said. And I was like, "Okay, cool." And then in this post, I saw it again on their fingers. Like there's a picture in there where they got each of their ring fingers put together, and I was like, "There's that symbol again. What's the story behind that?" So he put this graphic on there in the comments, showing man and woman, and man and woman get together, and then they get married and they have a baby, and then the whole thing, and it's pretty cool. So good night, Sarah. Thanks for coming and pimping me. But yeah, I finally got to learn the story behind the symbol on the knife and their fingers, their wedding band deals. So yeah, it's a pretty neat post.
I read that comment, and
They're pretty good teammates.
that was really.
You know, I hardly recognize him in that wedding photo.
Right? Blonde hair and hair on his head.
No hat.
Yep.
Got really young eyes too there, don't he?
Well, he does anyways.
What's this here? Steam communities. Anybody can make one of those, right?
Yeah, we were talking about that. You were probably offline.
It
We were,
costs 3 Steam.
yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap. It's not very expensive at all to throw one together.
Yeah,
No, just 3.
there's a few people were having a little bit of a conniption over that. They felt that it should be more. But it was interesting to see Steam stand by it and say, nope, that's what we're doing.
Well, get in there and make them quick.
Well, I'm glad they didn't, because if they raise it too much, like Steam Engine did, and popped it way up there, it kind of makes it somewhat of an elitist thing, and some newer people with newer communities that don't have a whole lot of Steam aren't going to be able to create their communities over there if they don't have a big chunk already. You know what I mean?
Well, it was
But
kind of
with
Steam
only three,
Engine.
then pretty much anybody can do it.
It was Steam Engine and some Steam Engine supporters that were pushing for it to be more.
Makes sense.
Uh,
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to do the same thing
It's
with the
it's
SMTs
it's
or.
competition. I mean, when it comes right down to it, it's going to be competition. You know.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just joined up with a bunch of them, try to jump in there early and stuff, and read up on it. But we're still waiting on SMTs. We'll see how that goes.
Well, you're going to be waiting for a while on SMTs because they've made it clear that they're talking months, not weeks on SMTs because there's so many variables. They want to give it as much of a test net as they can possibly give it.
Also
Well,
requires a hard fork, not like the communities where you can just kind of wheedle it in there in the code.
Yeah, the communities don't require a hard fork, but the SMTs will.
well, even though I've had concerns with Steam
Not
Engine,
another hard fork.
Yep.
even even though I had concerns with Steam Engine, all that stuff in there and everything. Like I said this morning, I walked up to Mr. Rosen to, yeah, how do you say that? You know I can't say his name.
Yep, be Matt.
Mr. Rosen. Yeah, when I talked to him yesterday, I told him, I said, dude, I said this before Andrarchy got there. I said, I want to thank you and Jesse aggroed a whole bunch with your Splinterlands, your Steam Peak, and your engine thing and everything for saving steam. But that's just my opinion.
Do you have a post to Pimp, Snook?
Yeah, I put the emoji in a while ago.
I totally missed it. Go for it.
Oh, oh, because you were talking about the community, so then I put the emoji.
Yeah, good
Ah,
time.
I totally missed it. It was probably when I was doing the screenshot on the desktop.
Oh, probably. Um, yeah, I was given the link and asked if I wanted to play around with it. And so I did, and I made a community, and I didn't know what to name it. And someone suggested Snook made me do it. So that's the poster.
Snook made her do her own.
Yeah. But yeah. So anyway, it was, I had a lot of questions. It's, there's a lot of questions I came across when just by being given the link and no information. It's kind of like when you started on Steam it was like, here you go. And you're like, well, this is nice. Um, what's marked down? What's this? What's that? There's no
There's no what?
directions. This does not come with directions
I'm shocked.
or
Imagine
even
that.
helpful hints. So, but it was 2 nights ago, or well, the night I made that post, and then I had to pack yesterday, and then flew home today. So it's something I have to look more into tomorrow, whatever, over the next couple of days. But yeah, so I there is a community called Snook Made Me Do It, and the post is actually I had fun going back and finding old posts with uh, uh, I tagged a bunch of people in the post, and their use of Snook made me do it. So it was fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a learning process and a learning curve figuring out what you can do and what you can't do. So,
Yeah, and I've seen like Steve QA. He tried to do one where he did a couple posts like try to just post to the community itself and not have it on the chain. And then I don't know, a bunch of people like totally flagged the shit out of it, and yeah. So my
my my
understanding,
understanding was that it was a default to not post to the blockchain. That you had to do something to make it post.
see, and that's where I well, see, that's where I need to play around with it a little bit more, but I want to actually like make posts because it has my name on it that I posted it, but if you post it in the community, if you write the post and post it from the community, it'll automatically tag the Hive blah blah number on it, and then it automatically posts it to Steam. But there's some other options up at the top that it's like post to something, and again, I haven't had time with the last 3 days the way they've been. I haven't had time to look into it more.
Yeah, I'll take some playing with.
Well, yeah, and between packing, mom, blah, playing, everything, yeah.
Mm.
I was lucky I got that post out, quite honestly. With somebody going, "Are you done yet? Are you done yet? Are you done yet? What do you think?" Okay, okay, I can do this, but
Make me really glad I'm going home, Mom.
but yeah, exactly. Just like as she's watching Fox News. But
Oh,
anyway,
there.
yeah. Well,
So what?
this morning, I had this. She had, I don't know, some kind of Rush Limbo-ish thing on at 6:30 in the morning, and I'm like, can we please just turn the radio off, please? And she's like, and she was ready to like yell at me, and then realize it's my last day. It's okay, I'll turn it off.
Thank God for small
I
mercies.
I'm like, really, I can't think and listen to this radio. I don't care what it is. Just can we turn it off, please? I'm gonna be gone, very soon.
Okay, so Injun, you've got something you want to buy, Mom. I
So
won't overstay my welcome.
Yeah, and the bugs started coming back once it got cold, and I was like, okay, enough.
Guilty Parties has a community.
Yeah,
He's
he
got
does.
Homesteading, Steam Peak, Creative Coins got one, STEM Geeks.
So,
Yeah,
Inj,
and
Injun,
he's gonna have a new Guilty Made Me Do It.
Injun, do you have a post that you want to share? There we go.
Speaking of communities, the Alliance has been doing some pretty impressive things, at least in my opinion. Been gaining quite a bit of ground. That particular post there goes over it in a little more detail, and thanks all the people that have, been helping out. Many of them are in this room. Thank you. Um, yeah, hashtag fact. I'll probably put those out once a month to go over the facts and figures for everybody so they can see what we've been doing, what we've accomplished, and where we're heading. We also just hit 20,000 effective voting power SP, whatever you want to call it, earlier this week. So pretty happy about that. Woohoo! Getting there.
There you go. So, I wonder if it's going to reach a point where some of the download vote vigilantes are going to decide that when you delegate to something like the Alliance, and there's votes that might come your way that you're circle jerking.
They have to do that to like every single community out there then.
Exactly, and that question has come to mind.
I don't think it's possible. There's not enough steam power on the platform to do that to everybody. They'd be showing favoritism, and which
Yeah,
would piss other people off, and it'd be just a gigantic war.
Yeah, it's going to be a mess. All this, what do you call it? Angry. What's the word I'm looking for? With the downvoting. You downvote me, I downvote you. I'm mad at you. I don't like you.
Retaliation.
But it's not
Yeah,
even that. It's the circle jerk fake thing that isn't a circle jerk that people think is a circle jerk. That they made money off of circle jerking.
Well, here's part of the problem is though, circle jerks can develop so easily. For example, I see somebody that I think I want to see, get more attention, and I make sure that they get, I put them on my auto voter, and that person turns around and upvotes a post of mine. That's a circle jerk. It's only two people, but
Right.
it's still a circle jerk.
Exactly. So it doesn't make sense. So you're just supposed to randomly pick people you don't know and vote on them.
Exactly.
And then on top of it, the guy, like just that MK whatever guy, doohickey. I mean, he's using a bot, so he's actually following a trail, using a bot to downvote stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, he's doing a reach around, done stuff.
Hey, hang on. I'm gonna close out here. You've been listening to Shadows Pub host, Pimp Your Post Thursday evening edition from the Ramble. Until next time, it's all about community. And yep, bye, Wilma.
Bye, Mama.
So, these things called Steam reports? I had something interesting pointed out, shown to me today that I had never really taken a look at. If you go and take a look at the Steam reports on the guy doing the downvoting and take a look at his voting patterns, you're going to find
Yeah.
out fairly quickly that he does a lot of circle jerking himself.
Well, yeah,
And
yeah.
there's one particular account called